Hey, my friends, welcome back to Living Inspired with Autism. I'm Antoinette. I'm the founder of Live Life Inspired Autism, and I'm a life coach to parents of autism. And this is a space for parents of autistic children who are ready to feel calmer, stronger, and more in control of their lives while raising their incredible kids. And today's episode, I need you to stay with me all the way to the end, because what I'm sharing today is the thing I most wish someone had handed me at the very beginning of my journey. Before I even knew what I was doing, before I even had the tools that I have now, back when I was just barely surviving. So today I'm going to walk you through the Successful Autism Family Blueprint. A mouthful, but we'll be referring to it as just the blueprint from here on out. And by the end of this episode, you are going to understand exactly why you're exhausted and, more importantly, what to do about it. So whether this is your first time here or you've been listening to me for a while, everything you need is right here. In this episode, you are exactly where you need to be. There's something that I see over and over again with parents of autistic children, and I want you to notice whether you recognize this in yourself. You are doing everything you can. You are researching, you're trying different approaches, you are managing behaviors, you are showing up for your child in ways that most people will never ever understand, and yet you are still tired and overwhelmed. And you feel reactive. You feel like your life is running you instead of you leading your life. And here's the part that matters. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just because no one ever gave you a roadmap. We were just handed this incredibly complex, beautiful, challenging journey and then expected to just figure it out, to cope, to manage, to get through. But I want more than that for you. I don't want you just to cope or survive autism. I want you leading your life inside of it. And that's exactly why I created what I now call the Successful Autism Family Blueprint. Now, before I walk you through the blueprint, I need to say something, because this is where most people get stuck. You can listen to the podcast, you can attend the masterclass, you can read every book on the shelf, and you can feel inspired, but nothing actually changes. And I say that with so much love, because insight is powerful, but insight alone does not create transformation. Transformation comes from structure, from repetition, from support, from implementation. And that is what the blueprint gives you. It's not just ideas, it's a completely new way of living. So let me walk you through the 3 pillars. Just listen and notice what lands for you. Okay, so pillar 1 is inner stability. This is where everything begins, because without inner stability, everything else feels harder than it needs to be. So let me take you into a moment. Maybe you're in the middle of the day and your kiddo's having a really hard time. They're melting down their behaviors, or something small turns into something big and you feel it rise in your body. That heat, that tightness, that overwhelm. And before you even realize it, boom, you've reacted. And then comes the guilt. And then comes the exhaustion. And then comes the thought, why am I like this? I should be handling this better. I should know what to do by now. But the truth is, you cannot think your way into calm. Your nervous system is running the show, and your nervous system is always asking one question: am I safe? And most of us are living in this constant low-grade state of stress. Not panic, but we're constantly vigilant. We're constantly on. We're always anticipating. We're always bracing for the next thing. And from that place, of course you feel overwhelmed. Of course you're going to react. Of course it feels hard. Inner stability is about changing that. It's about learning how to come back to yourself, how to regulate your body, how to create calm from within, not when everything is perfect, but really in the middle of real life, in the middle of that chaos. Because when you become stable, everything shifts. You respond differently, you think differently, and you parent differently. And your kiddo feels it, especially our autistic children, because they are so deeply sensitive to our internal state. They feel us before they even hear us. And this is where your power begins, not in controlling your child, but in stabilizing yourself first. Now, pillar 2 is called the connection code. Now, once you have some level of inner stability, you unlock something incredible. And this is where things start to feel magical. This is what I call the connection code, and it's built on one powerful idea. Your kiddo is not just reacting to the world, they are responding to you, not your words, but your state. They're responding to your nervous system. So let me give you an example that still moves me. I had a client, and every morning was chaos, screaming, resistance, stress. And she had all the things. She had routines in place, she had charts, she had systems, and nothing seemed to work. And when we looked deeper, we discovered something simple. She was waking up anxious, and before her child had even opened his eyes, the environment was already filled with tension. So we didn't change her routine, we changed her state. 5 minutes in the morning, breathing, softening, grounding. And within a week, everything had shifted. Now, it wasn't perfectly, but it was noticeable because her child was no longer reacting to her tension. Within 3 weeks, she told me it's the first time in 2 years I felt like myself. Now, this is the connection code, and here's where it goes even deeper. Your child's behavior is often a mirror. It's not to blame you, but just to show you something, a younger version of yourself, a feeling that comes up that hasn't been processed yet. And your kiddo beautifully and unintentionally brings it to the surface. So instead of asking, why is my child doing this? You begin to ask, what is this showing me? You move from control to curiosity, from reaction to response, from frustration to connection. And this is where parenting becomes so powerful because you're no longer powerless. You have influence, and that influence starts with you. Now, pillar 3 is the and life philosophy. Now, this is where your life opens up again. Because somewhere along the way, you were taught something that you had to choose between your child and your life, between your responsibilities and your dreams, between autism and everything else. So what do most parents do? They choose their child. Of course they do, out of love, out of devotion. And slowly, their life gets put on hold. Maybe later, maybe when things calm down, maybe when it's easier. But what if that belief is wrong? What if you don't have to choose? What if the truth is you can have autism and life? This is the and life philosophy, and it changes everything. Because you are already one of the most capable humans I know. You manage things daily that most people would find completely overwhelming. You advocate, you problem solve, you adapt, you lead. The skills that you are building as a parent of autism are the exact skills required to create an extraordinary life. Resilience, leadership, emotional intelligence, strength. You're not behind, you are in training. And an and life doesn't mean doing everything. It means designing intentionally. It means saying, my child matters deeply and my life matters too. Because when you start living this way, something extraordinary happens. You become a better parent because you're no longer depleted. You are energized, alive, expanding. And funny enough, when you do this work, maybe later becomes now. Things start calming down now. Things get easier now. Your child starts working with you now. And so now you've seen the 3 pillars: inner stability, the connection code, and the and life philosophy. So what we've done today is given you awareness, a glimpse, a shift. But if you want real change, you need to live this work, not just understand it. And that's exactly why I created the Successful Autism Family Blueprint. This is a 12-week live experience where we take everything we've spoken about today and we go so much deeper every week together. The points that I've touched on here are just one of the many points that we go on. So here's what you get when you join. We have weekly live group coaching calls with me directly. We have a step-by-step framework for your nervous system regulation, tools that you can use immediately. We deep dive into the connection code and understanding your child's behavior in a whole new way. And then guided and life design sessions to help you build a life that includes you. And of course, there's a private community of parents on this exact same journey. So you are never doing this alone. This is not something that you watch. This is something that you become. Now I know what you may be thinking. I am already exhausted. I don't have the energy for another thing on my plate. And I hear you. I really do. But I want you to hear this. This is not another thing to add to your list. This is a thing that makes everything else lighter. Doing this work actually gives you energy. Because when you regulate and you connect and you design intentionally, the daily chaos doesn't disappear, but your experience of it completely transforms. Now the blueprint opens for enrollment right now. It is open right now. And I want to keep the group intentionally small because real transformation happens in connection, not in a crowd. So the next cohort begins, we start on April the 2nd. And once we close, we close. So if something inside of you is saying there has to be more than this, just tired of all the coping, if you are ready to feel steady and connected and genuinely in control of your life, this is your invitation. So the link are in the show notes right now, so go down there. This is an investment. It's not an expense. It's a decision that says, I matter too. My life matters. My family deserves this. Because when you change, everything around you is going to change. And you are not alone in this. You are more powerful than you think. And your life is not on hold. And I can't wait to see you inside the blueprint. Again, the link is down in the show notes. All right, my friends, have a wonderful week, and I will speak to you next week.